Today's paper is from Marchant at 2011, The Instructions to Adopt an External Focus to Enhance Muscular Endurance. And in this paper, we're essentially asking, do cues and or instructions, the paper and the literature actually uses them interchangeably, to adopt an external focus. So the researchers instruct an athlete to bring their attention on something outside of their body to enhance muscular endurance. So in this case, muscular endurance is somewhere between 8 and 12 reps. When we talk about attention, we're essentially saying it's an allocation of mental resources. So the cognitive load of an athlete to the instructions, stimuli, different states. Internal attention from the coach has the athletes focus on bodily sensations like specific muscles or movements. Keep your lats tight, stretch the glutes. The external focus is going to be focus on an apparatus like the bar or some injuries. Squeeze an orange in the armpit with the lats example. So the aim of the study is to measure the effect of the external and internal cues on lifter performance on the Smith machine, free weight bench, and the high bar squat. So we took 16 male, 7 female subjects on the Smith machine bench, about 30 years old, and 17 males, about 20 years old, on the free weight squat and bench. And the researchers either gave them no cues, so they did not divert their attention, internal cues. They said, focus on producing strength through your arms and legs, or external cues, focus on producing strength against the barbell. The cues were issued when the researchers estimated about 2 reps left, so about an RPE 8. So the results found a significant effect between internal compared to the external and the control cues through all the exercises, but a very low to no significant difference, so about 1.5% between the internal and control group. So not a lot of difference between the internal and control group. So either internal cues or no cues had about the same effect. What we found was the effect on the Smith machine was about a 7% increase in reps when used the external cues or the external focus, and that equated to about 3 reps. The average was 30. And on the Smith machine was about 14%, on the free weight bench and squat, it's about a 14% difference, about 1.5 reps improved more than the internal or control group. Here there was a little bit of a difference between the control and the internal group. So am I confident in the resource and limitations? Well, there's no graph, there's no table of the individual results. In fact, there's not even a graph of the mean results. So there are very few numbers that we can have a quantitative analysis. We sort of have to assume the data is sound and accurate. It seems that way, but so we're just operating under that principle. So there's no strength, some limitations. There's no constraints on techniques. Perhaps when they heard the external cue, they just squatted more shallow. There is 3 days separated between the control group, the internal cue, and the external cue. That may have provided a training stimulus, so the subjects adapted and got stronger when the external cue was brought around, or they just got better at the test. Maybe they're not used to doing AMRAP sets. So this is a small sample size. 17 and 23 students, subjects, mostly male. And there's a wide discrepancy between strength. So we see that the maximum strength was 300 pounds on bench press to 550 pounds on the squat, compared to 242 pounds on the squat and 140 on the bench. And also the timing of the cues, would it change if it was an RPE 6, if it was set after every rep, is another limit.